One of my favorite shows is Pretty Little Liars, and it was pretty bad. Whether it is bad or fun bad is up to the viewer to decide. For me, it was fun bad. I got into it around season 4. I watched the first 3 seasons on Netflix and then started watching it as it aired. And those of us who were watching, as it was airing week to week, were hooked on Pretty Little Liars like it was a drug. It was so addicting. Now, before I go further, I'm going to warn you that I will be getting into spoilers, so if you haven't seen the show and don't want it to get spoiled, I suggest you watch the show first and then come back to watch this video later, because a lot of this video will be about the deaths and why I think they are funny. Much like the novels by Sarah Shepard, the whole show is centered around finding out who A is. The first 2 seasons of Pretty Little Liars are the best in my opinion, because they follow the novels. In the books, Mona was A, or the first A, since Allison was also A, and I really wish they would have stuck with that Allison being A storyline. It was a lot better than the whole AD storyline. Mona was the best A. A lot of that credit must go to Janelle Parrish. I think she was the best actress on the show. Janelle's performance was charismatic, smart, and often subtle. She didn't have to shout to show her talent as an actress. Janelle was so good at playing Mona as dumb, Mona as smart, and Mona as being devious. It's like she was playing multiple parts wrapped up into one character. In the books, Mona dies in Unbelievable after a struggle with Spencer. In the show, Mona follows a similar fate but survives. This deviation from the books of having Mona survive was one of the few good changes for the show. Now, when they tried to kill her later in season 5 during the mid-season finale, it was pretty impactful. I remember going on social media and on YouTube and people were visibly upset. The death didn't stick, of course, because she was shown to be alive in the season 5 finale of Welcome to the Dollhouse. Mona's fake death was one of those fun bad moments for me. It wasn't fun bad when it happened, it was pretty shocking. I thought, wow, they really went there. They killed off a major character. I cannot believe that they did that. She was pale as a ghost in that trunk. Sure, they hinted that Mona might not be dead. She was drawing her own blood, according to Mike, and a part of him seemed convinced that she might still be alive. But when Mona showed up behind that Allison mask, the show rendered into that fun bad territory. The 2 episodes where they were trapped in the dollhouse were pretty ridiculous. How did Cece or Charlotte, Noel and Sarah keep all the girls trapped in the dollhouse? No, back up. How did they manage to put them all in the same vehicle, kidnap them from that vehicle while evading the police, and then put them all in a secret bunker that was built and renovated with some serious tech? That bunker could not have been cheap. It's just one of those plot holes that if you think about it, the show doesn't make any sense. If you think too much about Pretty Little Liars plot holes, the show does not become enjoyable anymore as a drama. But I do find it enjoyable as a comedy. And my God, there are so many plot holes in this show. Why did Rosewood High let Mona come back to school after terrorizing Aria, Emily, Hannah, and Spencer? Why did Sarah Harvey work for Charlotte? Heck, why did Noel? I'm assuming there had to have been some kind of blackmail to make them all work for her. Some of these plot holes made some horrific moments very funny. I remember laughing when Noel Kahn got decapitated. It happened in the most ridiculous way. He was carrying an axe, got it knocked out of his hand by Hannah, to where it landed on the ground perfectly stuck up and ready for his decapitation. Then he tries to fight Hannah and Emily, but Emily is superior and knocks him down with one swing of her arm. Noel lands on the axe via his neck as his head becomes separated from his body and rolls down the stairs to greet the other liars. That wasn't the only funny death. Aria pushes Shauna and she dies. She just dies from a little fall, and it doesn't make sense when you start to think about the other characters not dying. Mona fell off a cliff and survived. And Shauna fell a few feet? Hannah got hit by a car. She went over the car, had some serious injuries, and a few episodes later, she is fine? Jason fell down an elevator with only minor injuries. Injuries so minor that he was able to walk out of the hospital shortly after. And Jason fell for a while. That elevator was going down fast, and he was screaming for a few good seconds. Let's not forget that after Noel dies, Spencer is shot by Jenna, and she comes out fine. Ezra also got shot by Shauna at the end of season 4. He is fine. Now both Spencer and Ezra have some recovery time after the gunshot wounds, which makes it more realistic than just walking away from it all. So, okay, but after all these gunshots, elevator plunges, and hit and runs, how does Shauna just die from a push from Arya? I could understand if she was knocked out, but death from that little distance? On this show? It must be that plot armor. Characters are either very hard to kill on Pretty Little Liars or very easy to kill. You can run over one of the main characters or shoot them, but if the plot needs them to stay alive, they will stay alive. And if it needs them to die, they die. Your screen time is up. It is time to go. There's too many characters on this show. That was a bad rhyme. This show was a soapy good time. I'm trying to think of another show where characters die and I thought it was hilarious rather than sad or terrifying. As of this moment, as I'm going through my brain, I can't think of a show where I laughed multiple times or cheered when a character died. I didn't laugh when Yvonne died, but I was sure happy. I did not like Yvonne. She took up too much screen time and didn't have anything to do with the main plot. A lot of things didn't have to do with the main plot of the show, but if it had to do with the main characters, it was at least watchable. I absolutely loved the main characters on the show, and I'm glad they made it to the end alive. Even though I did not like the ending, and I really didn't like the last season of the show, which was season 7. However, I did like it when Noel Kahn died in season 7. So it did have its moments, but overall I did not like season 7. I'm not a huge fan of time jumps, and Pretty Little Liars oddly did a time jump halfway through season 6. Then again, they did air Pretty Little Liars strangely to where there were episodes and a summer finale, and then there would be time off in between the second half of the season. So it would have I think it made more sense when it was airing that they did one halfway through because there were breaks. But since the show is over now, it's just another funny thing to think about. That someone will be binge watching Pretty Little Liars for the first time on a streaming service, and then there is a time jump halfway through a season. They will be watching that moment at the end of episode 10 in season 6 called Game Over, Charles, where the girls go off to college in the present, then in the next scene, they are in the future and trying to warn Allison, who is teaching at Rosewood. The next episode after, there was a 5-year time jump, and I will never get over how all of them, well, most of them were successful in their careers so soon after college. Maybe I will talk about that ridiculousness another day. If you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd really love to hear your opinions on the show. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.